Hey everybody, it's Andy's free guitar chart videos here, and I hope you're all doing well and working on guitar and you want to watch a video. And I know there's a lot of videos out there that are self-help videos on YouTube, and they give me a lot of ideas, and every now and then somebody comes up with something and I go, oh, I've got to look into that. But that's not the case this time. um, Occasionally I will go to the internet to look for somebody's idea of a scale or representation, but I pretty much got my own way of doing things, the way that I needed to see them. Now this isn't particularly that. The way that I usually look at things is with a fretboard. So let's look at this here. Oh, okay, we're in the Bandicam folder here. So um, let me set up the chart right here. Is the latest chart I made, and like I say, this representation is very interesting. I got an idea to try and represent the string shapes as the way they are, more or less horizontally, okay, as opposed to vertically. But of course we have our vertical stacks. As a matter of fact, what had started the idea for this chart, what it had started out as, was an attempt to do um, all of the string shaped stacks. I only got 3 of them here, and then the others are brought over from the chart the way they were. And this you might find easier to look at, and that is the short pattern and the long pattern of the string shapes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root. Okay? Now, how many notes was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, we went up further than that, didn't we? So we went up 2 octaves there. So I have a good memory for the number of times something happened. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. We probably went up to this 2 here on the D, but we really probably went up to this 4. It's a short-term memory, and you can't do anything in between. So even if I'm, humming something to myself, I can remember what I did, what I said. Just a gift that I have. So the purpose of this chart that I made, which is chart 253. Well, I'll just get me out of the way. Chart 253 here is just got kind of a general title: string shaped stacks for selected scales. Okay, what does that mean? Okay, well, here's string shaped long string pattern stack. So long string shaped pattern stack means, all right, the long is the 5, 6, 7. The long string shapes are the 5, 6, 7. But what I mean here with this, by long string pattern stacks, I mean the entire stack. So we have a stack of longs, but I mean these are longs this way too. Why? Because there's a transition here between the 3 longs into the short pattern, and then from the short pattern we have I show the transition here. And the reason I did that was because last lesson, which you had a monstrosity lesson, like a 2-hour lesson, and I ran into some problems. Once it got a little sparse because we were doing triad scales. Okay, so where we just select the 5, the root, and the 3. you can get all three majors with just the 5 root and 3 effect on guitar. And we do that all the time. You know, so if you have an E-shaped F, right, the 5th of that's going to be a C shape. You look at the C string shape and you take the 3/5 of it. So we have to know what the string shapes are. All right, we're gonna review them. But that's the reason why I made this chart initially, was to create pattern, pattern, pattern A, pattern B, pattern A again, because I needed to see how these lined up. Now this is all P4 tuning, so if there's a tuning warp, there'll be even another change to it, a little shift over to the right there. Okay, so let's zoom out a minute. That's why I made the pattern stacks once again, but I didn't do the minors. So we might have a little bit of pattern matching with the minors when we get to the triads. They also included over here a caged ladder, because when we get to the half diminished, and this is a little carryover from yesterday's lesson, and as you know, there's 2 ways we could look at the half diminished pattern stack with the string shapes. Okay, so one of them is just the 7-2-4. This guy got a little squished. It's not your aspect ratio. It's I forgot to, you know, sometimes I'll resize them and I'll forget to resize individually, and you'll see the dots start to look like egg shape, you know. Oh, I shouldn't have resized that. But with guitar, resizing, we're resizing friendly, because the fret sizes are always a different size. So it doesn't faze me to see how wide these are, but I don't want them too, you know, swished like that. I don't want them too long out like that, you know. But it just doesn't bother me, because I love it. It looks great to me no matter what, and so that's why I do it. So looking at the half diminished triad, we can look at it as 7-2-4. That's your Locrian scale. Okay, and here's the Ionian. The same notes, except with the Locrian, we start from the 7th, we go from 7 to 7. So that's one way of looking at it. And here's the same string shapes, and we're going to get to them. So this should be just a once over. We got the 7, the 2, the 4, and those same string shapes. If you can imagine what's happening, I've modularized the bottom strings of each of the cages. And so and then we got a nice substitution here, where it's no longer being looked at as 7-2-4. It's going to be looked at as diminished 5th, or 4+6 root, which is just a variation of the minor triad. Okay, the minor triad, which is 6, which is root 3, 6. So with just one C6 chord, one root 6 chord, okay, instead of root 3/5. See, root 3/5, we can do all 3 minors. Root 3/5, and you can look at it as substitute in root 3/5, root 3/5. Can do all 3 majors. With the minors, we can just do root 3/6. Root 3/6 substitution, root 3/6 substitution. Okay, so what are we going to do about the half diminished? Well, with the half diminished, if we're looking at a minor substitution initially, and then we raise that 3rd to a Lydian 4th, that's it. Just like that. 4. Rather, well, in the original key, it would be 4-7-2. But now, with a 4th substitution, okay, it's root 4 plus and 6. So we're going to look at that too. Now let's look at those string